The Writings of Nichiren. This is the account of what happened yesterday after I put the shovel down. I grabbed the bus at Sayers Avenue and headed towards Jamaica Avenue. I got off the bus at 165th Street and entered the first electronics store I saw. I asked where the Verizon store was. The sister there told me that the store owner was Jewish and that he closed his store on Saturdays. She suggested that I go to the Radio Shack on 168th. I walk the 3 blocks, then cross the street. When I go into the Radio Shack, a pregnant sister comes over to help me. I tell her that I need a cell phone charger for a Motorola Q. She leads me to the rack and grabs an iGo charger and a micro USB nib. After examining the phone I hand her, I ask if this is some sort of universal charger, and she confirms. I said it doesn't make sense to have all these proprietary cell phone chargers for each individual network. It doesn't. She tries plugging the phone into a nearby outlet, but the phone didn't accept the charge. I thanked her for the effort and left. I walked back across towards 165th and recrossed the street. I entered another electronics store there because they had a Verizon Wireless logo on the store signage. The store was called C-Mobile, and its address is 163-44 Jamaica Avenue. I entered and asked the brother for a Verizon charger. He asked for my phone, so I handed it to him. The first charger we tried failed like the one in Radio Shack, but the second was Baby Bear's Polish. Just right. I asked him what was the damage, and he said $15, but I heard 50 because of his accent. I asked if he meant 50 or 15. He said 15, I can sell you a whole phone for $50. I handed him a 20, but he didn't have any change, so I waited for someone else to get smaller bills. While I was waiting, I asked him if he minded plugging in the phone, which was completely dead at this point. I told him about the website and that I had just returned from D.C. The brother asked if I was a rich kid. Do I look rich? I thought. I said no, I was born in Jamaica but smart enough to get into boarding school. But I never forgot where I came from. I was back in Jamaica now. I asked if I could take his picture and put him on the website, since he was such a big help to me. All exposure for your business is good exposure, I said. His reply, no, I don't like being on websites, you know. He then yelled, Carly, come over here. A beautiful tall sister named Carly glides over. She asked if I was a promoter, and I sort of nodded. I will always promote civic virtue, accountability, and service. But I'm not sure that's what she meant. The Trini brother tells her to take her hood off, but she refuses. I took her picture and wrote on the back side of a piece of some paper I found on the counter. Email chris@potsroadtrip.com. www.potsroadtrip.com. I kept talking to the brother who would help me and asked him where his accent was from. He said he was from Trinidad. I told him that my dad's mother was from Barbados. He said, from the islands, yeah. I remarked that they call Jamaica Queens Jamaica, but I don't see any mangoes or palm trees or rum or sugarcane. My change arrived and I told them goodbye when the 5 singles were in my hand. The brother replied, big up, respect. I left the store and eyeballed the street for the best place to find an outlet. It was 10:50 a.m. I slipped into the Gertz Plaza in search of an outlet. I found one right at the entryway and plugged my PDA in. I turned the phone on and sent AJ a text to meet me at the Circuit City in Union Square. And I started scribbling notes about my adventures up to this point on this faux ostrich and suede-looking notepad I keep in my back pocket. At 11:12 a.m., with a half-charged battery, I set out again. I took a picture of Gertz Plaza Mall and immediately lost one of my battery bars. I figured I needed to catch the railroad at Sutton Station in order to get there on time. I made my way west toward the station via Jamaica Avenue. I figured that this was going to be a long day that could possibly end with community service, and that I needed to get some ration. I stopped by a fast food restaurant. I won't say which one, but I will say the girl in the logo winks almost as much as Sarah Palin. Wait a minute. No one blinks as much as Sarah Palin. Except maybe Tina Fey impersonating Sarah Palin. I spent $5 on the dollar menu, which is a veritable feast. When my paper food bag arrived, I left. I eat a lot on the run. I finished off 2 double cheeseburgers and a chicken sandwich before I walked more than 3 blocks. I know I eat too fast, but I can't help it. I arrived at Sutphin Boulevard Station and purchased a city ticket from one of the digital touchscreen vending machines. For those who don't know, this is arguably the best way to get into Manhattan on the weekend. It's almost $2.50 less than the off-peak LIRR ticket offered on the weekdays. The ride is much more comfortable. The view is much more scenic. There's no scent of human urine stinging the air. There's no sign of tunnel rats in the station platform either. I boarded the 11:39 a.m. station bound for Penn Station, with changing at Woodside. I found a seat next to a sister who was talking on her cell phone. When she got off the phone, she asked me if this train went directly to 42nd Street. I said no, you'll have to catch the subway at Penn Station uptown one stop. I told her to look for the blue A, C, or E trains, not the red numbered ones going uptown. I repeated it once more for emphasis. The time was 11:52 a.m. We disembarked the train at Penn Station, and I wished a lady who had been sitting next to me good luck. She was supposed to be catching a 12 p.m. bus, and it was afternoon already. I hoped that they let her use her ticket for another bus. I made my way to the 8th Avenue end of Penn Station and caught an E train downtown. I got off at 14th Street and made my way toward the L train. When I arrived, a cord of orange tape denied my entry. Not in service. So to get uptown, I'd have to walk. I actually think I have a terrible sense of direction. That fact does not bode well for someone who's going to be traveling all over the country. Thank God for GPS.